All right, everybody, bring lots of hype and lots of love for one of my favorite games of all time. SushiKishi's gonna speed run the heck out of it for you. It's Typing of the Dead 2 Ramaji mode. Go ahead, SushiKishi.
Hey, so thank you very much for everybody for donating for the backpack incentive. I'm glad we got to actually meet this. We finally figured out how to actually unlock everything in the game, because it being in Japanese made finding information a little bit difficult. But for our backpack choice, we've got this big old guitar on our back. Usually, if you remember from the first game, you do have like a Dreamcast or something like that on your back. But we are swapping that out for a guitar this time, and it comes complete with a brand new set of sound effects, which is just fantastic. So we're gonna have a lot of fun with that as we go pew through all of the zombies. And we're starting with chapter 0, because you can't start with chapter 1. That's not the start of the game. You gotta start with 0. And time's gonna start as soon as I skip this cutscene. Get the mouse cursor off. There we go. Now loading. Loading a little more. 3, 2, 1, and go. So if you're not familiar with the Typing of the Dead series, it is based on the House of the Dead series, which is a light gun series of light gun arcade games. And we're swapping out the point and shoot mechanic of light guns for typing. And you'll notice, especially as we go through, that when the zombies actually become active, I can start typing whether or not I'd actually be able to aim at them with a light gun. So there's certain situations where it's going to be very, very helpful that I can type, because I can shoot things that are just not on the screen, that otherwise you just wouldn't be able to with a light gun. Especially a lot of the bonus items and some items, power-up items and things like that, they're going to be active even when they're not on the screen. And especially there's a coin that can be used to really ramp up your combo there in the corner and help you build towards an extra life. And I can just keep spamming the middle row on my keyboard to shoot at that coin, even, well past after you would otherwise be able to. So certain situations like that's going to help me ramp up a ton of combo and extra lives as long as I'm typing accurately, which is nice because the game's going to have a huge difficulty spike when we get to the last stage. The first 3 stages not too bad. The 4th stage is much more long than it is a big difficulty spike, and then chapter 5 pulls absolutely no punches right at the start. So I'm hoping to go into the last chapter with a full set of 9 lives, which would be the cap. And something else that we've been able to unlock through the power of using Cheat Engine to max out your score to otherwise impossible totals to unlock everything. Oh, one nice playthrough is that we actually now have free play mode activated as well, because the game doesn't have free play mode unlocked at the start, despite being a take-home version of an arcade game. Free play mode is not free in this game. So it was very common to get to the last stage, and if you have any kind of trouble on the last boss fight, you're going to be staring down the last 3 lives with no more quarters to put in the machine if it goes poorly. But now that we have free play mode, I am 100% confident we'll be able to finish the run for sure. Even if things go a little sideways at the end, shouldn't be an issue. I may have to take a quick pause here in a second because I've alt tab chat out of my vision, and I can't move. I can't alt tab while I'm in the game. So give me just a second here. There we go. Now I can see all your beautiful faces in chat. And these vultures are going to be the first potential stumbling block. Aha, there's the yen key. I found it. That yen key, I have finally found the magic recipe to make the slash key on my keyboard, my regular US English keyboard, work as the yen key. There is a run I did a few years ago at, I think it was a Canadian event because the computer was set to like a French Canadian keyboard setup. And the run completely halted, I think, right there, like 10 minutes into the run, because the slash key would not register as a yen key on a Japanese keyboard. But there are other keys that even if I'm using a like a locale emulator to get this running well on my US Windows 11 machine. And just in case there's another symbol where it's just not reading from the keyboard, I do have a Japanese keyboard as well here. But you don't want to learn a brand new keyboard right before a speed run. So I'm typing on my regular, everyday keyboard. But if something funny comes up, I should be covered with that other keyboard.
That would definitely be extreme hard mode.
Yeah.
A new keyboard in the middle of a marathon run.
And then actually, I'm glad I brought that up. So this is Iramaji mode speedrun. The other option would be Hiragana Katakana mode, where you can't use like a regular US keyboard. You'd have to learn the actual layout of all the hiragana on a Japanese keyboard. And you wouldn't get the romanized letters to work off of to know what you're typing. You'd have to learn a whole new
alphabet.
Yeah, a whole new alphabet, whole new keyboard layout for that, because you can't really use a QWERTY keyboard. I mean, you can use a QWERTY keyboard for it, but it's not going to line up. Because the symbols wouldn't be QWE, it would be, Nani Nune no Kakikuge Ko. That would be what all your keys would do.
Look, Daniel.
Would this be a good time to mention the incentive?
Absolutely.
All right, friends, we are looking to unlock that retro game challenge 2 bonus Super D returns speedrun, and we are so close. We are only $15 away from unlocking that bonus run. You know what that means. Bonus runs mean more power up with pride, more chances to raise funds for True Colors United. But I need to see a game called Super Demon Returns. I really need to see it. So it would be just absolutely amazing if we could raise that final $15 to unlock that incentive by the end of day 1, which is coming up pretty soon. We got this run and possibly another run afterwards, and that is it. So not a lot of time for you to get those donations in. Please, if you've been kind of sitting on it, you've been considering it, it would be really fantastic to unlock that bonus. And do remember that when you are getting your donations in to True Colors United, that you can click on both an incentive and a bid roll. So, yeah, put it towards what you like. I like the Retro Game Challenge 2 bonus Super Demon Return speedrun.
You are so much fun to play with. That guitar is really going to work in the background.
This game is exactly the same as like the non-typing version, right? Like they just changed the game to make it typing.
Correct. It might be a couple of slight differences that I honestly have not committed to memory, but there's not much. It's the same story, the same cutscenes. The beat to beat like that would be the same. I do know that, like, for example, the final credits are different in this one because it's another typing mini game in the credits. But it's tiny changes like that. Nothing too major between this and the light gun version.
So, and the other one was an arcade game, and this was actually available in arcades too, right?
I believe so. I haven't seen like a picture of the cabinet out in the wild or anything
Yeah.
the way I have the first one, but I imagine it was also out in arcades in Japan.
It definitely was. I've seen the cabinet before.
Oh,
So,
nice.
Yeah, yeah. So with the keyboard there and everything. So, just imagine going into the arcade and you see this cabinet and there's just a keyboard in front of it.
Got a couple of items. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
So I've got a couple of items here in my inventory on the bottom right quarter. That purple jelly, whatever you like to call it, will take out one target that's on the screen. Yeah, let me. I was looking. I did this right at the start of the boss fight. Those two stopwatches will slow down time, which is great, except that it's a speed run and it slows down time. But there's a couple of sequences here coming up where I can get rid of those without really losing time, thank goodness. And then it'll free up the inventory space for hopefully getting something better in the next chapter. And then hopefully I can carry through to the final boss fight. And it's gonna be right here where everything's on the screen all at once. So my eyes can see the tiny, tiny words.
It's funny, I've seen this game like a bunch of times and I just not remember it a lot. I wasn't ready for this stuff.
Hey, there it is. Okay. I know it plays into talks more about I think how things happened before the first game maybe, but I'll be honest with you, it's been so long since I've stopped to watch the cutscenes that I don't really remember the story either, unfortunately.
I mean, that's fair. Very important story reasons for there being a very angry sloth coming after you.
I'm
And also,
sure there are.
yeah, using typing to right.
Come on. There we go. Kind of sad. It's so cute. Like if it wasn't so scary, it would be cute.
I like that you have a guitar with a keyboard stuck on it. Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. Thank you again for the donation. Let us have that this time around.
Yeah, it's just getting the ammunition from the guitar somehow.
My father always put work ahead.
Oop. There we go. Cut off my homeroom there for a second. Yeah, see, that's me picking off that key way off of the screen. I got away though, that's okay. Built up a pretty nice combo off of it. No! It's alright. Oh, and there's a genre dictionary, so all the words coming up are all going to have something to do with each other. It'd be really nice if I read Japanese and could know what the genre is going to be, but I'll be honest with you, I have no idea what it's going to be.
Oh, so wait, so like a dictionary will pop up and then that's how you know that they're all gonna be?
Yeah, so one of the, I guess there are a couple of different power-ups that obviously would only make sense in the typing game, and one of them being that genre dictionary I just picked up. It doesn't tell me what the genre is going to be, but in the first game, it would be really obvious. Like all of a sudden, everything would have something to do with fruit or food, something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's what it is here. There is some sort of genre that all of those words fell under. I just don't know what they are because I can't read. I can't read the Japanese. So unless it's something really obvious and basic, I have no idea what it is. But hopefully, the idea would be you might be able to maybe guess what words are coming up if you can tell that there's a pattern that the game is going to be sticking to for a little while.
I don't know if you mentioned it before. Is there an advantage to playing the Japanese version?
It is the only version, at least of this game, that I know. If there's a English version of the second game, I haven't played it.
Oh, yeah, because it's Typing of the Dead too. Right.
Yeah. Now I know I was always under the impression that the first game was only ever released in English, and later found out that was not the case. There are lots of, I don't know if spin-offs the right word, re-releases might be the right word. There are other versions of Typing of the Dead 1 in Japanese. It's that category. Oh, and then this boss, by the way, is going to have coming up here a multiple choice question that I also can't read, but I guessed correctly by picking the short answer and hoping it was the right one, and it was this time. So we got to do a little bit of extra damage. You can see that the boss has 2 health meters. That top one's the actual boss health meter, but I only deal damage to the top meter if I can clear out that bottom health meter. So certain attacks will just wipe it out entirely, like the last word there. I have to type that perfectly or I take damage. But you notice that each word there only takes a little bit of it. And then in here, if I don't guess correctly, I don't deal damage here, even though I take out a target and I successfully type something. Come on. There we go. And then the boss is not the end of this chapter. A little bit more to go to get to the elevator. There it is. You. There'll be 3 zombie guys at the top of the steps. Street Fighter 2. Let's see if we can get the bonus life this time. I missed a couple of extra lives at the start by letting him get hit when he's asking for help there. And I'm gonna go watch the replay because I feel like I got some bad luck in that there were 2 words that start with the same key, and I just targeted the wrong one each time. That or I just kept typing the wrong word, one of the 2. But I want to go back and see. That's been bugging me ever since the first chapter. We finally got an extra life off that guy. All right, chapter 4. Chapter 4 is the longest chapter by far, because there's going to be on the run from this big old boss for the entire stage and taking pot shots when we can.
Boss is just named Death.
Yep, Death.
In case you were wondering.
There we go. And one of the options you can set, and I'm very thankful that rules allow you to set it to what you like, but one of the options is literally just called word move, which controls how much the words on the screen actually move around. So you're gonna notice that, especially coming up, there's gonna be a lot of very fast moving enemies. Man, and those words are flying around if you got that set to anything higher than very low word movement.
Oh my
'Cause
God.
they zip around. And it's just hard to get your eye to focus on what to figure out what it is you're actually supposed to be typing. You just jump all over the screen, and by the time you get a handle on it, they're already hitting you. You. Eh? Here we go. A lot more double and triple letters in Japanese, especially that N key. That N key gets a workout in this run. Ah.
Looks like we got away.
That's from the nature of the language because it's the only consonant that stands alone in the
Yes.
alphabet. Yeah.
That's a 0. Oh boy, was I confused for a second. I'm like, I'm definitely hitting O, and it's definitely not typing. Nope. Back up. Oh, here we go. The hyphen also, type the hyphen a lot more in this game than you would in an English game, because that is used to, doggone it, to extend the sound of like a vowel, and you might do that multiple times in one phrase.
Going back there again.
There we go. Just keep running from death. No, I missed the key.
Hey, don't touch me there.
Really? I am not typing super well today. At least when it comes to saving my partner, I have not been typing too well today.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
I'm really enjoying the arcade feel. It's been a while since I've watched like an arcade game, and it really it has, you know, it has that feeling. The way that
Yeah.
enemies pop up, and yeah, the way you move around.
E-N. There we go. I feel like I'm just like, that's the street the keyboard or something. There we go. Oh, I wonder if in the Lycon version, if you have to wait so long to start taking out those vultures, because it takes forever for them to have a target word in typing version. But I wonder if in the Lycon you can just start
You just don't give up.
shooting at them right away. They're so fast.
I mean, it definitely seems like they kind of space out the enemies in that arcade kind of way. So I bet it's the same.
Yeah.
Would this be an okay time for an announcement?
Absolutely.
True Colors United implements innovative solutions to youth homelessness that focus on the unique experience of LGBTQ plus young people. In America, up to 4.2 million youth and young adults experience homelessness each year, with Black, Latina, and LGBTQ plus youth disproportionately experiencing harm. True Colors United is ending youth homelessness by transforming systems, building the power of youth with lived experiences of homelessness, and advocating for change from the grassroots to the global stage. It's a really, really fantastic charity we're here raising funds for today, tomorrow, and the next day. So if you do feel that you are able to donate, please get your donations in to True Colors United. And do remember that we still have that incentive that we are looking to unlock the Retro Game Challenge 2 bonus Super Demon Returns speedrun. We're only $15 away from unlocking that. So if you have $15 for True Colors United, we will all get to see the bonus Super Demon Returns speedrun. So how did you get started running this game?
I don't remember how I found out that it existed, but I started by speedrunning the first one in the series and just wanted to go through the rest of the series as well. Once I found out there were more games,
Yeah,
more
that's
typing in
fair.
the dead games.
So how'd you start running the first one then?
I had the setup for the Dreamcast. I had the Dreamcast keyboard and multiple not no longer working Dreamcasts because I had bad luck with Dreamcasts in particular. But
Yeah.
I loved playing the game as a kid when the Dreamcast was working.
Yeah.
And I like the Dreamcast in general. I wish I could speedrun more Dreamcast games. But a lot of the games you could speedrun on Dreamcast, like even Typing of the Dead, it's just faster on other consoles because the loading times are so much better generally. Like I think even if I wanted to get into like Sonic Adventure, um, Sonic Adventure was the first Sonic game I ever played. So if I wanted to like get into speedrunning that, I'm pretty sure the better option would be to learn it on a non-Dreamcast release.
There's definitely a special place in my heart for the Dreamcast as well. I really, really like that system.
Yeah, that's how I got into speedrunning the wonderful, fantastic RPG that is Industrial Spy.
Whoa.
Industrial Spy Operation Espionage, where you lead a team of very, very, very anime ragtag group of spies on a bunch of different missions where you don't actually control your characters. You just give them the orders of what to go do. And that is a game and a half, let me tell you.
Heard of that game before. That's amazing.
Yeah, so it is a game that is, I know we're talking about a game that I'm not playing on the screen, but just to go through it very quickly, you have the option to like go scout out where your next mission is going to be and things like that. And if you don't do that, you're essentially telling your characters to go, hey, go to unlabeled room number 1 and go interact with computer 13 in there. And if you don't know what those are, you're kind of, you know, having to, you know, it's trial and error. But it's also a completely menu-based game because, like I said, you're just telling the agents which room to go into, what to interact with, and what to do when they get there. And somehow the controls on the menu are just bad because what they can interact with depends on where they're standing in the room. So if for some reason you either open the menu too early, or they just decide not to run all the way into the middle of the room and they're like 1 or 2 steps closer to the entrance, they can't see the computer on the other side of the room that you need them to interact with. So somehow it has absolutely no gameplay that you control and has awful control. And I keep going back to it because somehow it just keeps luring me back in with that fantastic mix of.
Back in. I'll be honest, I thought you were gonna say Skies of Arcadia. I've never heard of this other game before, but it just sounds amazing.
It's number 1 on my game list of games I wish would get a remake, and I know it never will because it didn't. There's no way it sold well. There's no way it was a good enough game to ever get a remake. But I wish it got a proper remake where it was good because I like the idea on paper, but it just wasn't executed very well, unfortunately.
It's extremely valid to have those games that you're in love with that you know there will never be a sequel. There will never be a remake.
Oh, and what is so frustrating is if you do end up taking a game over, you have to take the whole word all over again. It's just a little bit faster there.
I've been waiting for this time to come.
Coin out. There we go.
Nice.
Yeah, ideally we get here obviously without ever losing the credit, but last stage was a little bit rough today, and like I said, I didn't get all the extra lives I was hoping to before coming here. But we're well set for the final boss now, the Wheel of Fate. So the only real speed tech here is on this first section of the fight where I get to choose. Hang on. What genre we're working with? Not yet. Oh, take it here. Like, I'm going to pick hobbies just because it's quick to type, but I want to pick the same genre every time. Otherwise, the Wheel of Fate has to spin around to select whatever it is I've selected. And I don't want to be watching that animation more than I need to. See if it locks right in and it goes right into the attack sequence. Not having to spin around, but you'll see it later. Because I'll eventually lose the opportunity to pick my genre. I think that's hobbies. One of them sports. Come on, let me type. Thank you. And I feel like this is one of those things where I'm gonna say it and then immediately be proven wrong. But I think you have to at least get rank A on everything you type here, or you don't actually deal damage. And you notice that again with the two alpha meters at the top, that those short words really only chip away at that bottom meter. So it's really important that I get them all. Or you end up having to watch a whole attack sequence just to deal a little bit of chip damage to actually progress the fight. That's not a all suspicious. That's not a great start. That's fine. I'd rather get the long words anyway, if I'm honest. There we go. And I think now we're, past the point where I can choose the genre. So it's gonna spin the long way around, all the way, almost a complete 360. Of course, that's okay. Ah, I got ahead of myself. There we go. We're not quite to where I thought we were yet. Well, should be just one or more two cycles of this. Nuku nuku. Stop spinning in. Throw a word at me. Come on. All this running around. Ah.
Do you have any lore for why we're fighting a floating Silver Surfer ring style?
I'm sure there is plenty of fantastic lore. I just don't know what it is. There we go. All right, so now we're in. Oh. Nice. All right. So that long word there, if I type that whole thing out in time, I deal damage to the boss. This section, I can't deal damage to the boss here. I'm pretty sure. You can even see the small banner on the bottom's not moving. None of this matters other than to prevent me taking damage. So as long as I keep typing those long words really well, we're fine. This is a section. I can just take a break if I want to because we have free play mode on. But if I was on my last credit here, where I'd eat it is on these words here where I can't even do anything. See? Oh my goodness, I am not typing goods at all today. Yeah, we lost the cycle there. Let's get back on top of it. Zuka. There we go. Now we're on. Oh no, there was. Oh, it was stuck in the static. I thought that was the end of it. The little green got buried in the static. I couldn't see it. All right, one more cycle, hopefully, and then we're out of here. See, got them all there and still did no damage. What are you gonna do? There we go.
Yeah.
Now, depending on what answers I choose here, we get one of 3 different endings. I'm going to go with whatever's on top today. 2, 3. And then 4, the ending run's going to be after I finish typing this word on the top here. And time.
GG's.
This is the world you humans wanted.
What's happening?
The world is overpopulated. Even you must realize that.
future. We'll
The
handle it ourselves. You've got bigger problems to worry about.
You're not my father.
Yeah, one last El Kabong.
The keyboard guns are so much cooler in this one than in the first game. They're cool in the first game, but
Hey,
they're
let's go.
they're
They're
cheesy
waiting for
cool.
us.
Here, the keyboard guns just look really cool. I like the look.
Well, do you have any shout outs you would like to do?
Just to keep watching and donating to the event. The cause is absolutely fantastic, and there's lots of fantastic incentives for you to donate towards. So please do keep donating. And tuning in all week.
It's their future.
And then I'll be back again tomorrow playing 8 Colors Star Guardians, which is a Super Sentai parody RPG. That is a lot of fun. So I'm definitely looking forward to showcasing that for everybody too.
And walk their own paths.
Sounds amazing. I couldn't agree more. Everybody, please do keep donating. I hope y'all enjoyed Typing of the Dead 2. And I hope you're not going anywhere because we have one more run for you coming up to close out the horror block this evening. Please stick around. All right, huge thanks once again to SushiKishi for that run of Typing of the Dead 2 in Ramaji mode. And as I said, we do have that last run of the evening coming up for you. Please stick around for Sphere the Spotlight. Kasaki's going to run that for you. It's the Glitchless Chapter Bid War. As a reminder, this is the time to get your donation in if you want to try to snipe the Bid War. If you want to try to select a specific chapter, let me hop on in there and check on who is in the lead, because I do believe we had another donation come in, which may have tilted things in one direction or another. Oh, well, it looks like Amy is still in the lead. Amy's chapter is still in the lead at $146, but Vivian is catching up now at $120. So this is it. This is the time to get those donations in. If you want to see Vivian's chapter, you gotta donate right the hecky now. Be sure to click on that Fear of the Spotlight. Choose your character incentive. Just as a reminder, Amy's chapter is more of psychological horror and is the scarier one, and Vivian's chapter is more physical horror. So this is it. We are down to the wire. Now let me pop on back and let you know exactly what was going on with that donation. Uno Squid sent in $15, and that is exactly how much we needed to unlock that Retro Game Challenge 2 bonus Super Demon Returns speedrun incentive. So we have met that incentive. Thank you very, very, very much for your generosity, Uno Squid. And thank you, everybody. It took everybody's donations together to do that. I'm so hyped. Thank you very, very much. Friends, if you're just joining us, you are watching Power Up the Pride 2025 here on Twitch. We are running from June 13th through June 15th for about 16 hours each day, and we are benefiting True Colors United. To find out more about them, you can find the link to their site in the panels below the stream or use !charity in chat. If you're interested in donating, you can type !donate in chat, find the schedule by using !schedule, or see the incentives with !incentives. I I'm so happy to see all the love for Fear the Spotlight in chat. I hope you all bring it all the way to the end of the run. Thank you, those of you who are in time zones where it is late at night, for sticking around. Of course, I'm nocturnal, so I'm extremely happy to be here.